Right, hello there, and welcome to part 2 of our Victoria 2 Let's Play as Japan. So, right now, we are getting ready to declare war on the filthy Koreans to take over their land in a glorious era of conquest. Now, if we have a wee look at China and Korea, Korea has... Oh, if I could, actually find Korea. There we go. Korea has 13 brigades of military units, so that's about 39,000 men, which is more than easy enough to take care of. China, on the other hand, has 213 brigades. Now, that is a lot of brigades. Now, hopefully, what the plan is we're going to land in Pusan and Gwangju, and we're going to march straight through Korea in a sort of lightning fast blitzkrieg. I might even start landing troops around Gangneung and Wonju to try and secure this northern line here. Now, if we can fight them in this northern line, we should be fine. What we really want to do is we want to fight around Gongcheong and Hanghong, because this area here is hilly, so we get a defense bonus, and this area here is woody, so we get a defense bonus as well. Also, there's this long river that goes right across the Chinese-Korean border. If we can hold China on this border, they will always have a -1 to attacking us. Now, the fact they're using normal, irregular troops is really going to help us here, because we're using troops that have muskets, pretty much. We have lots of musket troops, whereas they're using things where they might have a few musketmen, or maybe some guys with arquebusiers, but we have proper rifles, we'll have proper regiments of infantry ready to take them on. And so they'll lose a lot of men trying to kill any number of ours. I've had times where somebody say I lost 1,000 men for every 100 that I've lost. So hopefully we'll be able to win. Now let's declare war to annex Korea. So we declared war on Korea. Let's have a wee look at the newspapers. Any newspapers? So there's war between Persia and Afghanistan. I really have to start reading these newspapers a bit more. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to load some troops. We'll send our clippers out. I'm going to lower the speed to 2, and we're going to march on Pusan. We can't do a landing right now, but we can maybe in the future. We're going to hope that our ships don't get intercepted by this Chinese fleet here, because we do not have very well repaired ships, because we don't actually have a port to repair them on. So yep, continue to load units on. Oh shit. Right, okay, so we actually got caught there. We're carrying troops, we're losing ships, disengage, retreating, we've lost a ship. I'm going to try and retreat because our ships are in no we're in no condition to fight this. So we actually lost one of our clippers there. In fact, did we just lose all our ships? We did. Oh Jesus, that's not good. That's not good. So we're actually going to have to build a lot more clippers in order to reinforce these troops here. Now, will we be able to build these clippers? I don't know, because we might not be able to buy any clipper convoys, because our prestige isn't high enough. So I'm actually going to put... Oh god, this is not going well, is it? So if we can, we've just got to try and conquer as much as we can. So we've got all these... This is the problem with Japan. We have all these troops, but we don't have any clippers, and we're buying so little convoys every day. It'd only take... No, actually, we're gonna create a defensive position at Pusan to try and secure our beach landing, not take any attrition. Do we have Napoleon thought? Because if we do, we'd have a dig-in bonus, where the attacker would get a -1 to attacking us, but I don't think we do, because we need military constructions, advanced constructions, to get post-Napoleonic thought, which, if we look at our technology, will give us a digging cap +1. Now, what this game does is it runs straight up to World War I, and it really does simulate incredibly well World War I tactics of just staying in defence is the easier option. Like, exceptionally so once you get to something like machine guns. Machine gun armament greatly increases the defense rating of every single troop. So it just makes attacking almost suicidal, unless you have something like a massive death stack and you manage to catch them unawares. Supplies are a thing. I'm not exactly sure how supplies work in this game. I don't think it's like, for example, Hearts of Iron, where you can sort of do encirclements. So China's actually sent most of their troops to take over some of our stuff. Good, these clippers are actually being built. That's nice. As you can tell, this is not exactly how I wanted this to go. I wasn't expecting to get hit on the South Korean Sea by that Chinese fleet. So, kind of awkward, to be honest. We have a lot of troops just sitting around ready to be shipped over to Korea. But the good thing is we do actually have a landing spot now. It's not like before where we had to carry those troops over. We did also lose some troops, but I'm not actually that bothered about that because I'm a heartless man. So what we could be doing just now, instead of just sitting around, is we could actually be building more units to ensure that if we do secure a beachhead and we do have the transport to take people over, we can indeed actually make it over. We are so out of money, it's not even funny. We're going to need to drop lots of spending because we are exceptionally out of money. Because we're spending a lot constructing units. There we go. Okay, so now we're getting some more money. Clippers. How are those clippers doing? Yeah, so we got one clipper that's been built. Hopefully they shouldn't degrade it, because the problem with those clippers is they were only 5% durability because they were built so long ago and we couldn't get any clipper convoys to keep them supplied. They took attrition damage even though they were in a port. And because we don't have import ships, we can't build naval bases in order to repair said ships. So their durability is awful, and we can't supply them, so they're awful in combat, and therefore we just got our arses kicked pretty much. So once we get to about 3, we can start shipping troops over, and now we can just do it a little bit at a time. It will take a long time, but you know, who really cares? The more we just need troops over there at this point, really. You know, some boots on the ground, that's all we need. Because this war is going a lot slower than I thought it would. Because this is really destroying our lightning fast blitzkrieg I was talking about. But it's a-okay, so long as we can run over here. That is a lot of ships. Hopefully, they seem... Okay, so we got a military parade. Our nation may be broken, but our army is not. In their eyes, as they parade through the streets, can be seen nothing but utmost devotion to Japan and the ideals for which our nation stands. These men, and the description fits them, have been fostered since childhood into rigid and firm belief in our nation, and they would die to defend it. Long live Japan. So we can either do modesty and justice or unmatched glory. I think we're going to do unmatched glory, because prestige is amazing. Especially for a country such as ourselves, where we don't actually have that good prestige. Okay, so we've landed. I'm going to load as many troops as I can onto here. So we just loaded some cavalry and some infantry on. Hopefully we won't get intercepted by those ships, and we'll just continue to be able to drop troops into Pusan. And I'm actually going to move this 18,000 stack of units over here. And we'll load these up, and what we'll do is we'll just keep on doing this over and over and over again. How long did that clipper? It's not even being constructed. Ooh! That is bad. Now the only problem with this is we're transporting units over without leaders, and leaders are exceptionally important to actually fighting, because if you fight without a leader, you're getting rid of lots of bonuses you could have otherwise had. So let's have a look at our wars. The Korean conquest of Korea War. In fact, there should be a newspaper article about that now. No, actually there's not. That's quite surprising. That's a shame. I thought they would have, you know, the Japanese newspaper would have said something about us invading Korea. Something about our glorious conquest, but unfortunately not. So we're not doing particularly well in this war, just from the fact that they're taking our islands and we're not really defending them. They cannot invade the mainland. We have too many troops and they have too little transports in order to actually be able to effectively invade the mainland. There we go, our final clipper's being built. So, right, we can send this 18,000 stack, and we can group these guys together and we'll send them on Ponghai, and we'll send this unit up to Daejeon. Now, Korea is luckily not really around to defend. They haven't really got that many troops around. They've got 15,000 troops there, but Seoul is actually unguarded. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the clippers to meet up in Nagasaki. And then we'll be able to transport entire armies at one time. Ooh, that's actually 33,000 men, so we're going to have to create a sort of line, a defensive line here, I think. How close are we to advanced constructions? Not very close at all. I would really quite like to get advanced constructions, but no such luck, I'm afraid. Okay, so that's our clipper done. Wherever the hell it is. Oh, of course, it's just built furthest possible point from where it needs to be. But no matter. Okay, so that's a full stack of troops there, so we'll move them over. We're building 2 cavalry, yep. So what we'll actually do is we'll move these guys to Kyoto. And they will join up, and that's us got 52 brigades, which is a lot of brigades. Right, okay, so that's enough to carry an entire set of units at once over to Pusan. And then once we do that, we're going to march into Seoul with these units here. And then pick up more units. What I think I might do is I might land in Gangneung, and that way we'll be able to trap the this Korean army here in Wonju, and then we'll be able to just do a complete encirclement with all our units, and just basically just kill them. Probably could do that now actually. There's a river crossing there, but doesn't matter. It's 33,000 units. Hopefully we'll be able to get some attrition on them soon, but I extremely doubt it. Okay, that's good. So now what we're going to do, they have no real retreat without running to the army, so we're going to send all of our armies in order to take them out. There we go, okay, so we're actually losing men, and now they are. There's a lot of troops we're losing there, and those rolls aren't particularly great. We've been attacked in the sea. Where are they running to? They're running to Tongju. We took their capital, so that's always good. I hope we look like we might be doing fine in this naval battle, even though maybe. Wow, we didn't actually lose any ships. That's very, very surprising. Well, we're losing some men there, but luckily the Korean troops aren't that great. So we're gonna get a few more troops over here. We'll attack them in Pusan, so our troops just don't die from a naval invasion, because we really do not have any real tech in order to assault anything navally. Right, okay, so send these guys to Heiju, and send these guys to Kaesong, and we'll send this 12,000 sack to Seoul. Right, I think we're just going to leave our ships there for just now. I think we've got enough troops, hopefully, in order to keep the Chinese at bay. See, now what this means is each time soldiers die, they actually die from your population. So your country will eventually run out of troops to be able to fight. What this yellow means is there's not quite as many reserves as they'd hope, so they're not reinforcing quite as fast as they would like. Otherwise we'd be at full strength. But yeah, overall, after that terrible start, things are actually looking slightly up for us. So these guys are going to go walk into Hamhung, which is one of the provinces I really want to hold. Our blitzkrieg, there wasn't really a blitzkrieg, it was more of a very slow march north, but China fortunately hasn't really gotten its troops involved. They can come in through Manchuria, but I'm not sure if they actually have military access with Korea yet, because, well, they might not. Which always strikes me as rather odd. If the entirety of the Chinese Empire just walked through Manchuria, there'd be no way that Japan would be able to take Korea in the slightest. We would just get beaten back almost immediately. But yep, just gotta keep on taking these. I'm not sure how long this war's lasted. It's probably lasted about a year since the justification. Let's have a look at Conquest of Korea War. So they've occupied our very small sort of Japanese islands around the Pacific. I'm not really too bothered about that. I don't really care about them. They haven't really got a high population base or anything, so they can just take them as far as I'm concerned. And then as soon as we fully annex Korea, which we have not done because we haven't taken out that small island in Jeju. Yet no sign of the Chinese army. There is Manchuria, which for some reason hasn't gotten involved, which I'm quite okay with. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just asking for, they want to ask for access through Manchuria, which should be given because they're a satellite nation. But hey, no. Come on, Chaz. You're meant to go over here to Jeju. There we go. Right, so we take that out. We have blockades. If I send some troops... Oh god, we didn't. Okay, so this is the problem. Whenever you siege something, you're getting attrition. So when I'm sieging these provinces, I'm actually getting attrition on my men, which causes me to lose men every month or so. And by having two armies at once stacked on the same place, we're actually taking a lot of attrition damage, which is not so good for us. But luckily it won't really matter because we're going to take this. We're going to take Korea anyway and finish our glorious, glorious conquest. Just as soon as these two provinces flip. Now, once we do conquest that, we'll want to get from points we're going to get. We want to get advanced constructions in order to start building forts. And what we're going to do is we're going to build forts along this line here between us and Manchuria. And by doing so, it'll give us a nice defensive bonus whenever we sit here and just defend against the Chinese. Because not only will we have the infantry, we'll have the dig-in bonus, we'll have a bonus because of the fort, and overall it'll be quite nice. And we'll have the bonus because of that river. We have too many diplomatic points, so I should be using them all the time to increase relations between us and everyone else. So this is how not to play Victoria 2. Right, that's those units. Seemingly fine, so we're going to pick them up and we're actually going to land them again in Korea. We've got 18,000 troops sitting behind in Japan itself, so we should be relatively okay from a counter-attack point of view. Any army that lands will be too weak anyway. So, let's negotiate peace, annex Korea. Yep, okay, so we have annexed Korea into the glorious empire of Japan. Now if you look at our research points, we have a lot of research points. Now economic reforms is minus 5% because the upper house doesn't really support them, whereas upper house does support military reforms quite a lot. So we're going to get advanced constructions, there we go. And with that we can start building our forts, and I think next we're going to get imported ships. So we can actually we can start repairing this fleet of clippers that we have. Now you will notice we're still actually at war with the Chinese here, because they are still fighting for Korea. So they have 700 days left before they start getting a ticking war score against them, because they're trying to liberate Korea, and if it goes on for 2 extra years they start to lose war score against us. Oh, there we go. So this is the first Chinese army that's been attacking us. I managed to see that from, if you look up here you can actually see armies and stuff. So we managed to win that, so I'm going to keep these, I'm going to replace these troops, I'm going to keep cycling them out over and over again to allow the frontline troops to be able to recover from any losses they've taken. I mean, that was an 18,000 stack, only 11,000 now. So if I keep cycling them in, out, in, out, in, out, they should be able to recover from the battles fairly quickly. I'm also going to move the creating clergymen from Chubu to Kanto. So as you will notice, our literacy has dropped, and this is because people in Korea aren't particularly literate, so the average literacy in our country has dropped quite considerably. So, you know, now we just play the waiting game, waiting for China to come attack us. Here we go. So they're going to march on us in Chongchong. We've got our newly placed troops there, And as you'll notice, every time a troop engages in combat, they actually get experience. So that's a lot of troops from the Chinese. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start sending all of our troops there, because that is 104 troops, 129 troops. So even though we're defending, we are still losing a lot of men. But it's okay, because now we've reinforced with almost equal numbers, and we have a massive technological advantage. So we have managed to push them back almost entirely, because they've got a terrain negafire, a negative bonus, and a crossing negative bonus. So we won, that got us 14 war score, and what we're going to do actually is we're going to chase them into Jilin. Because their army's broken, ours isn't. Ours is taking attrition damage, admittedly. But if we can wipe out this massive army here, we could actually start moving forward and try... Can we justify any wars against China? Sorry, I should be watching this battle take place, but we already know we're going to win. So yeah, we actually won. Someone starts taking our province, the sneaky little bastard. We cannot... We can add a war goal, so we could actually acquire a sub-state region, which costs us 5 infamy. So what we could do is we could actually sit here and we could say, you know what, I'm not happy with this, I want Manchuria. I want Manchuria. Which would be nice. Or we could say maybe that we wanted Taiwan, which is Formosa. Which we might do actually. How much is it to... So adding war goals you can do if your country's doing quite well. Ah, see, it costs 11 infamy, which we do not have. When you're justifying to go to war with someone, if you're discovered, it costs infamy. But there's a chance that you won't get discovered depending on how fast the casus belli is generated. So there's a chance you could get, say, 22 infamy for taking over Korea. There's a chance I could get no infamy, or I could get somewhere in between, maybe like 11 or so. Really just depends on the random number generator. So what I think we might do, it would cost us 28 to get Outer Manchuria. To get Manchuria, it costs us 56. I mean, it'd be nice maybe to get this territory, but it would put us at a very early border with the Russians. And we would no longer have this really nice kind of concise defensive point to defend against the Chinese. So I think we're actually okay. I think we're just going to leave it at Korea. We don't want to get too aggressive. We can't offer them a white peace, even though we just wrecked their army, because, you know, they're just a bit overconfident. We are losing so many troops to attrition, it's not even funny. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to leave some troops behind. I'm going to actually move these guys down to Kimchik, so they're closer to a defensive point around here. So we're going to send half of our troops down there and half of them along up here. And we're also going to do an officer training, so we now have leadership modifier plus 10%, so we're going to get more leaders and better leaders, which is always good. So here we are, we're attacking both the Chinese units, and they want a white peace, so yeah, we're going to accept that, that's fine. So yeah, that's really good. We've managed, it took us about 2 years in order to finish this this conquest, but we did it. And now we're greatly increased on the way to reforming. We've done a lot of reforms, we managed to get 2 reforms out of that, and we're going to get 1 more. So it's going to be quite difficult to attack Johor, because if you see, justify a war of conquest is 22 infamy, which is a lot of infamy. We could maybe go to war with Dainam, because we could actually do a conquest of Dainam, which is 22 infamy as well, and we'd get a lot of points for conquesting Dainam, but it would put us up against China, which isn't that great. Overall, we just really want our infamy to drop, but there's no real way we can do that while we're at war. But we'll leave that for another episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our conquest of Korea, and as always, I hope to see you next time. So, goodbye.